Final Fantasy has released, so we are taking Minstrel, the Wandering Minstrel, through its paces. This is how the list looks today. No Explorer's main deck for GSZ, Wandering Minstrel to tutor as an Amulet effect. Only 3 Scapeshift, somehow I thought I had 4, but it's impossible to fit everything I want to fit at the same time, so it seems like 4 Scapeshift and my precious Explorers were the victims. 7 bounce lands, plus map. Opponents playing Simic midrange 25 days ago. Curious. Been a while since you've seen a classic Titan art on this channel. They don't have the secret lair one on the DB account. For some reason, you cannot use all of the arts, and some of the secret lair arts fall under that criteria. Very sad. Polluted Delta. Now, should I Zenith or a Grazer? I don't think it accomplishes anything. I still turn 4 Titan. And our opponent just played a Delta and passed, so seems like a waste to summon a Grazer, especially if it's a blue deck and I need more action in my hand to resolve things. Abhorrent Oculus. No Unearth to destroy me. I'm glad. Fetching a Minstrel here would be pretty bad into game 1 fatal pushes, but maybe I'll do that if my opponent forces my Spelunking. Nie, no to jest G1 zerku właśnie, gadaj. Unearth Oculus. Play Merktide Regent. So is Minstrel just a 2-card Spelunking? No, it's a 1-card Spelunking. Why would it be a 2-card Spelunking? Holy shit. This is actually huge. I mean, how many cards do you spend on GSZing? Chat. Oh, I somehow thought I'll have an extra land drop. This is actually not huge. I was like, wow, I'll just fetch Minstrel. Yeah, because I thought it's Spelunking. Spelunking works in this spot because you go Spelunking, land, Scapeshift. So I was so used to that, and that's why I assumed it's gonna work. Well, maybe my opponent will not have a removal spell there. I guess I shouldn't have played Crumbling Vestige then. Oh, the 1/3 body blocking. I'll Scapeshift. This is incredible. Let's play around Spell Snare. Holy shit, the first ever Minstrel game, and Minstrel is actually Minstreling all over my opponent. Pretty impressive stuff. Streamer talked about putting Arbor in the deck. Arbor is just really bad. iPhone 747. I do not recommend. They actually had Subtlety, which ruins me because I have no solution to that. I'm 1 mana short. Which we could have played around either, like, we had to choose which we play around, Subtlety or Spell Snare. And I chose Spell Snare because I think it's a more popular main deck card. Although they did have 2 in their graveyard, so I probably shouldn't. But that was a bummer. Minstrel was Minstreling, but then we didn't quite get to Minstrel in the end. Has Fire Magic been good? The Fire Magic cast count is on 0 currently. I mean, it seems marginally the same as the previously existing sweeper, so probably not much difference, but you can cast it on 1 mana sometimes against Ocelot Pride Ragavan. That seems neat. Magic. Hand is maybe not the greatest, but not a hand I would mulligan. And opponent mull to 5, which is always nice. Could fetch Saga next turn. Or just play 1. I mean, I don't think I want to cast a spell. Kind of no point. Could fetch Bog. Let's actually do that. Should do that in my opponent's end step, but I didn't have a stop. But this should stop my opponent's Ochulusis from getting summoned. Thank you, Alp. I think all I do this turn is just copy a Saga. Sort of no reason to do anything else. I could Echoing Deeps and Urza's Cave, but that doesn't do anything. You can't wait to see how good the Final Fantasy cards are on this stream. Well, so right now we're playing a league, which actually contains the new cards, so... Well, the new card, Urza's Saga, which is a card that hadn't previously existed post-board in this matchup, has been looking extremely good. So that's nice. It is nice to have the ability to just make constructs with your land if your opponent holds up counter magic. That's a good punish for just holding up counter magic all the time. Wonder if they side out pushes. Well, it's a tough one for them. Should they board out push? Should they keep it? I hope they don't consign. Nice. Nile Spellbomb. Cool. I will not need the Minstrel this game. Hopefully I don't get Harbinger, because currently we have no counterplay. Well, I guess I can T-West for Otawara, so I have the smallest possible counterplay. DV Canister wins the match. Didn't take much for my opponent to give up. Okay. It's like the third one maybe is not justifiable. We're up against Sven Svetter Sven, who's playing that wonky Izzet deck with sideboard Teferi, Ageless Pilgrim. Yeah, Crackling Drake control. I'll wait a bit. Make some land drops. Maybe Joy Saga. Now I'll play an Amulet if they want to kill it with Flame, it doesn't really matter. How is Minstrel? Is it Summer Bloom power level? Yeah, for sure. No i dupa, no co ja mam zrobić teraz? I guess I continue making land drops, like doesn't seem good for me to tap out just yet, maybe next turn. I think I need a bigger hand. How big though? I play Thunder Trap Trainer. They waited till 6. Probably 2 counter spells in hand. Flare is also in their deck. So they could have just Flare. Well, the best thing is to draw actual Titan. Although Saga prompts some action. It's part of my opponent EOT Snapcaster Mages. But they don't. And I can map for... Yeah, I can map for... Oh fuck, Arena of Glory, holy shit. Map for T West. It's not much different than... Anything else? Mm-hmm. How has Minstrel been feeling? Summoned it once against Oculus and that's it. But I'm also playing a challenge where I forgot to register Minstrel. So I guess it doesn't feel much. Let's get Amulet. Don't see much point in tapping out. How much damage is Drake? 1, 2, 3, 6. That's fine. 2 Drakes maybe. Plus Bolt. It'd be sick to die to that. Holy fucking shit. Alright, well punished for not playing my spells. I guess it was definitely a mistake not to play Lotus Field post combat into Scapeshift and Scapeshift again at this point. Yeah, that was a really bad play. Minstrel seems pretty rough into Flame of Honor. What a crazy deck this is. It's a Snapcaster deck. What a game. Sit on my Scapeshift, never use it, die. Going all in on Sagas this game. Constructs with this, that's gonna be lots of power. Just gonna make it sorcery speed. Not to pretend that I'm going to do anything else. How do you think Modern would be if Consign was a true stifle? Would people play fewer fetch lands? Discuss. Consign will be 10 euros a pop. Well, but that's already the case, right? But players would stifle your lands and lose games. Stifle would fall out of flavor? Why? Isn't stifling a fetch actually pretty good? Doesn't it cause you to lose the game often? If your lands get stifled? Holy shit, villain just died to constructs. I realized I forgot to cut Scapeshift against a blue deck. Let's trim down to 1. Grazer is like not so bad. Putting the Saga into play on turn 1 is actually pretty real. Like we just did. 33 lands is a lot. Alright, 2 Grazers is actually fine. Not really. It's good in Legacy where you can pair Stifling Lands with Wasteland, making days crazy powerful. 2 of those free cards are missing in Modern, so you're telling me that you wouldn't mind getting just LD'd on turn 1 by Blue Gamer? I would mind. Like, bro, imagine like that your opponent goes Flooded Strand Pass. And you're like, shit, I can't even play my Ragavan because I just can't. Like, so what if they don't have days? That means that they have better cards for the late game. No counters, no LD, yeah. That's how I would like it. Charmo, Jezus, ale się dałem. This was horrible. O ja pierdolę. Playing the turn 1 Bog would have been so good. But I drew the Mirrorpool and fooled myself into a Charmo. Obsidian Charmo. Nie no, ziomuś, no. Kurwa. Somehow I haven't drawn Minstrel at all in this version either. Let's check if I actually registered the correct one. But I had it in play, so like it had to be the correct one. Keep. I certainly would mind, but I suspect that most blue decks would value deploying Tamiyo. Turn 1 overhauling up Consign and getting your fetch stifled. Well, what if they don't have a Tamiyo in their hand? They only have a Consign and they're like, yeah, I guess I'll kill your fetch land. Sounds giga overpowered to me. Grazer here costing me cards, I guess. But it's fine because I can Scapeshift on 3 lands and win. Looking at Amulet lists retrospectively, do I think people adopted Crumbling Vestige way too late? Well, it's been showing up a lot. I don't know, I wouldn't say that. Crumbling Vestige really becomes better if you have more access to Amulet. When it was a Field of the Dead deck, then I'm not surprised by the fact that it wouldn't be a Crumbling Vestige deck. If you catch my drift. From among the non-land permanents, I'm safe, okay. I almost shot my pants, realizing that they actually plus Ajani. But I will not be forced to sacrifice my Saga in any scenario. Ajani cannot touch Saga. But yeah, I think Vestiges, like I've been maybe a bit slow with Vestige as well myself. But I think I upped to 4 Vestiges once I began Spelunking maxing and subsequently Scapeshift maxing, and Vestige combos with those too. It doesn't necessarily combo with Dryad of the Elysian Grove in any way. Why no more Neoform gameplay? Oh, I just don't feel like playing more Neoform. Although, nice Ajani ult. I'm not saying I will not play it in the future. I have not been streaming too much in the past. However many days. Because I've been hard testing standard as well. Instead. It would definitely make blue matchups a lot more play draw dependent, but I also suspect we would learn to play around it. Like if you are in a blue mirror and you have consign plus fetch on the play, you kind of have to fetch on your turn 1 to prevent me from playing shock and holding up my own consign. For sure we would. I think it would be pretty hell though. Pretty hellish. So I'm glad that consign doesn't hit triggered abilities. Or other activated ones, it does actually hit triggered ones. Having to fetch in your own turn would make Goblin Gate way too good. Holy shit. Now that's a perspective that I haven't considered. DB canister wins, which is it is good that my opponent agrees with me. Emotional support explore in the sideboard, it's just good. It's just really good post board. You tap 2 mana, you explore. Wow. Turn to win. Unfortunately, I have to expose an amulet. I guess maybe I won't need to. I mean... No! One lander. Stole your Titan, killed your Amulet. What's next? Yeah, I guess next comes a Blood Moon or something. Statistic Prison, okay. Hit second land drop with ease. Expedition map, awesome card to have access to. Sometimes. It's so unfair when you have a turn 2 kill hand and then your opponent interacts and you turn it into a no turn kill hand. Trap and charm your Grazer. No, buddy. That's too much. Some boundaries ought to be respected. Flash. Alright, Flash is not too big of a deal. Minstrel. Minstrel drawn for the first time. Kinda sucks. One free not to bar on this board. I guess. At least. Also lets me keep up Otawara during your opponent's turn by being a legend. Wow, truly a legendary move, opponent. Or other Minstrel, thank you. Planes. Minstrel carrying this game. Yeah, sort of. Gonna eat a flash attack, which, you know. Because I bounce Ragavan, opponent can dash Ragavan. Another Ragavan? That's so lucky. Also seems like my challenge match has begun. X-File, haven't seen X-File on Magic Online in a while. Yeah, in the challenge I had no Minstrel. Oh no, Ragavan exiled my analyst. There are no more bounce lands. Oh, there is one. Fire magic. Magic. Well, there's not too many lands left in my deck for Mr. Beast to draw. Yeah, Spelunking is like the only thing that can matter to draw. Mostly. I forgot. I was supposed to put all the Grazers in play. I guess I might just lose that to the Flage attacking me now. That is fairly unfortunate, I would say. Yeah. Just a flying Flage attacks me, and if I had the multi-Grazers, I would just block, so... Kinda through here. Trying to play fast to get to my challenge game. Oh, it's game 2 only as well? Alright, bro, you won the match. A bit of an ugly hand, let's mulligan. Mr. Beast showing up in every hand. Maybe I keep this with Explore, but not with GSZ. Would be much better as a 6-card hand, but I think I want to be able to make constructs. Feels relevant to me. Maybe it is not. Maybe GSZ is just better to have a threat. Chat, Fraben Charm is so overpowered. It's crazy. Probing Charm. It's such a weird card as well, because I don't really understand why Energy necessarily plays it, but it's actually just the best card ever against Titan. Out of Energy. Well, I guess it's worse than Magus, but in the tier below Magus, it's just crazy. It's fine against most decks. Is it fine in the mirror because you exile Flash, and fine against Frog because it kills Frog for 2 mana? I don't know, that feels a bit sus. I can still win if I don't die next turn, which I think I might survive. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery. We had a draw step stop, so I draw step fetch Saga. Get to chapter 2 instantly and pass. They only have 2 mana. They have Bombardment Ajani, so they deal Well, maybe they kill me. Oh, they actually really kill me. 2 Fraven Charms, game 1. Even Wandering Minstrel is not gonna save me. Also, they have lethal anyways, right? So I guess they just had lethal on board. They didn't need the second Fraven Charm. Well above lethal. Well, 1 point over lethal. I don't know if they have well above lethal. 2 charms in that 2-2 bracket. No, it's a league game. It's a 1-2 bracket. Let's draw Mr. Beast in an unplayable opening hand again and die. I even have a third fire magic, which I accidentally did not bring in. I meant to. Magic is a lot of effort to keep winning, and you have to stay on top of everything. You figure out your sideboard plans, but then people change their decks and you have to figure them out again. It's an endless struggle. Yeah, still Graze. Seems better than Minstrel. Seems better than Analyst mostly. I haven't actually been thinking too much about getting Minstrel here, not much point. Losing my religion. Nice attack. Just copy pasting MTGO decks is a pretty valid way to approach that issue. Mark says. Against Molten Rain, I think I would rather have a bounce land left in hand, right? A Johnny. Trap and charm this opponent, yeah, well put. That's why I like playing Mr. Beast still. You need to beat Trap and Charm. Trap and Charm and Orim's Chant, 2 extremely powerful cards. They could kill my Grazer and get an attack with Ragavan, which then lets my opponent Orim's Chant me. Why did Trap and Inspector get a charm? Because it's an iconic card. Obviously. I think it's more Thalia, Guardian of Thraben getting a card, frankly, though. Greek Yogurt, killing for Graveyard Hate is typically not an issue. Oh, I giga punished for not bouncing back my bounce lands. Why didn't I do that? I guess because I wanted to have Mirrorpool in play, but holy shit. I just needed a few more mana. Giga punished. Yeah, bouncing the Mirrorpool made no sense because I will not have any bounce lands in my put into play with Mr. Beast, so I will not have lands in my hand for the second Colossus. I was supposed to just get back a Grove Chamber instead of Mirrorpool. Or have 5 mana and then I can Pact for Grazer, get to 6 mana Titan, haste, attack, haste with Crumbling Vestige and Echoing and Vesuva on my Hanweir Battlements, attack, get 2 Lotus Field, post-combat Analyst. So I get at least Mirrorpool, Vestige, 2 bounce lands back, and I can copy Colossus again. As it stands, I probably die. But we'll see. Attacking Ajani. Oh yeah, of course. Holy shit, I'm playing so badly today. I'm absolutely out of it, Chad. I think I'm not giving my best effort today to any of those games. Making loose mistakes every now and then. Question mark? Just blame the Minstrel. Oh yeah, Minstrel is so bad, Chad. Making me play GSZ and ruining my deck construction. Attacking Ajani would be much better, then Ajani would be dead, and then I would not die to Ajani attacks this turn. Because I think I die, right? Oh, they're hitting the Colossus, I guess I live. If they hit the Grazer, attack with 2 flyers. Am I still dead? No, I'm not. Are we playing Minstrel? In this game, yes. In the challenge, no, I forgot. Minstrel chilling in the deck. Somehow I have no Delirium. But I will have Delirium, right? Yeah, I will. Once the land is in there. No, I won't. I don't have Delirium. Do I have a single Urza Saga left in my deck? I don't. Oj, oj, oj. Niedobrze, niedobrze. I blame GSZ because no Explore. Weird gaming today. Everything is just wrong in all of those games somehow. Nothing lines up. And then it's like all horrible. Do I have a solution? Not really. Delirium issues. I mean, it would be fine if I kept one Saga. Maybe you should keep one Saga more often if you have no Explorers to be the fourth Delirium type. But I kind of die here. I think I just have no way to get out of this, so this certainly could have been played better. Fire magic hasn't really showed up much. I mean, I drew it against Boros. I failed to cast it. It died for no reason. But it, like, I just hadn't had these sweeper spots come up all that often. Oh, kurwa, consign? No. Undercity sewers. My hand is really bad. Actually, now. Unless I draw Spelunking, then it's awesome suddenly. I failed. You practice with my list and you're having a lot of fun in Modern. You were really reluctant to play this format. I'm glad. I'm glad you're having fun. Titaning people. It's a good feeling for sure if you enjoy it. Spelunking, best draw ever. Force of Negation, the most unfair card ever. At least Trespasser doesn't flip now. Thoughtseize. Bro, Trespasser against Titan is so awkwardly actually annoying. You often just don't cast spells, so it flips. Deals a bunch of damage, you can't block it with Grazer. It hates your graveyard a little bit, which doesn't matter much, but a little bit. It's kind of crazy that Trespasser is an issue for my deck, but it kinda is. My opponent pitched a counter spell to Force of Negation, so my hope would be that they don't have a second one. If they do, then I'm toast. Because they left me with a Summer's Pact. So 4, 5. Is it a Minstrel turn instead? Then I'm also open to push, so that's kind of horrible. Maybe 2 turns from now it's gonna be a Minstrel turn. Well, the reasons to pitch Counterspell is not having more blue cards or having another Counterspell. Seems like my opponent has another Counterspell. I will need to draw another green. Maybe I should have played Otawara. I think I should have played Otawara. That was a mistake. Because then I could play Crumbling Vestige and Zenith for Minstrel. I don't know if Zenith for Minstrel is any good here. It's so likely that my opponent has a fail push in hand at this point. Isn't it? Well, I drew another green. I think Minstreling here looks pretty bad. I'll do this instead. And make a construct. No balls. It's game 1, they have 3 cards in hand. What, like, 43 cards left in their deck. 4 pushes amongst those. Seems like a waste. And if I bounce the Trespasser, they replay it, they tap out. That sounds alright to me. And I have an Amulet through the Saga next turn. So I can commit my GSZ to being a threat instead. So yeah, you could say no balls, but I say, yeah, so what? It's no balls, but sometimes balls are actually the worst. I think I wanted to be smart, but I can be that smart. I guess I can be smart. I haven't made my land drop yet. Zenith for Minstrel. Actually, no, for Analyst. Guess I have no Delirium, but Saga provides Delirium alongside Scapeshift, so that's okay. If they have Crumble to Dust, is that an issue? Might be. Why make a construct here instead of waiting for opponent to maybe consign the Saga trigger and GSZ for Minstrel plus Scapeshift to win? It's game 1, they have no consigns. I guess other than that, sounds valid, yeah. And also, if they force my Scapeshift, I'm left with another construct. So that just sounds good to have an extra construct, right? Could let me live for an extra turn against this Trespasser. You could have a Subtlety, which should be not much of an issue. Maybe annoying to play through time-wise. Actually, it would be pretty time-consuming to do. Only 1 pact left. Nope. I guess I have Delirium regardless. Delirium. There's also a deck building angle where you actually do trim Primeval Titan to fit all of the tools, explores, etc. into the deck. Just something I will not have the balls to do in a long time, but I do keep thinking about that. Amulet Titan is a bit weak against energy, frankly. Titan the card. Like a Turbo Analyst deck, basically. Yeah, like you would just have more GSZs and 2 Titans in your deck, not 4. That's what I mean. So you wouldn't really cut much on the Titan aspect of the deck, and you'd still use it, but you'd have 2 or 3. You fit more Explorers into your deck, so your opening hands are better. But it's not clear if removing Titan makes your opening hands worse or better to me. So that's another thing, right? 2 18/18s attacking. Let's go. So against Ochulus, we are going to bring those and cut Scapeshift, 2 Boseiju, 1 Lotus Field, 1 Mr. Beast, 1 Mycosynth Gardens, and 1 Grazer. Maybe add a Vexing Bauble and cut 1 Pact. Let's go. There's many options. Amulet deck building. What's the best though? Who knows? Well, this is ugly. Let's keep though. It's a Thoughtseize counterspell deck. I can't really mulligan much. I can't waste resources like that. They played a tap land, not a fetch land, and I drew Amulet, so basically that was the nuts. No force, please. Thank you. Not interested in Minstrel this game. Should I have Surveld? Probably not. I dismember in response to the first card pitched. They would have to discard their hand then. Well, I guess now I can dismember. Bro, I just can't wait to resolve the triggers. Sure, I get counterspell, that's fine. Green blue Manowar for a reasonable cost? I don't think so. I have searched the green creatures many times and I have not found anything. Hello, Xenovan. Green blue tap on tap. Yeah, but that's a bit weak, right? merely sorcery speed tapping the frog down is not quite it, I think. It has flash, yeah, but GSZ doesn't, right? Really attacking? Kinda wild to attack. Trading blows. Oh no, miss land drop. This is hell. Counterspell, okay. Force. Pitching Ochulus, bro, it would be better not countering that. I see spell. I click counterspell. I mean, in their spot, I would probably force. It's not great, I guess. I wanted to say force Spelunking. They paid life? Dismember? Right, land. Kurwa, no nie mogę dać jebanego ląda jak trzeba, nie? One time, draw a land to punish my opponent for their exotic plays. Probably have Consign. Would they kept 1 mana up? No, they would keep 2 mana up with Consign. Too few lands? Yeah, need a bit more. Ty skurwysynu, no, ja pierdolę. I śmieć. Why did you discard or shoot the sheriff? Kurwa, ziomuś, ja nie mogę, nie? Tilting. Tilting loss. But I guess no need to play well. In some spots like this. It's a vanilla swear word, Ari. It could be loosely translated to frick. How does Minstrel feel so far? Not particularly relevant, frankly. A picture is getting painted in my head. I will answer in a minute. Not having explore feels horrible. Guess I should Saga. So the GSZ Saga deck is good against blue. It's the good Amulet build against blue decks. The Explore Scapeshift deck is good against Boros Energy. The Scapeshift-less deck, by its nature, is more fine not having blue, not having an Amulet in play. Minstrel is actively damaging against Boros, I think, because it's just impossible to stick in game 1, and even post-board they just have, like, it's pretty costly mana-wise, it's gonna be costly to draw, and even post-board they'll have removal. So I think Minstrel makes you play the variant of the deck that's better into blue, but kinda Minstrel doesn't even make much sense in a post-board plan against them. Can you board into the other version? So like you can do that if you have the GSZs in the sideboard now. Now it should be doable because the Urza Saga is a viable card to have against blue. Which should use not to be the case, of course. Attack with frog, okay. Bro, that was the worst attack I've seen. What the fuck was that? Why'd you tap your frog? I can't attack with 6 into it. I mean, the infinite constructs mode doesn't really happen because your opponent just doesn't play Harbinger or waits a turn, and then the game is maybe a bit awkward like this one, where my opponent actually Harbingers. So here I would love an extra thing to GSZ for value. Guess I'll get Analyst. But here having an idiot monster that does anything would be actually kind of awesome. Maybe I should have fetched map instead of Amulet, frankly. I milled my forest, that's really bad. Raktas Gaming. I mean, I can get forest back with the Analyst. Also, my challenge match has started. Let's double Q. Ah, those hands are not okay. Guess we go to 5. Maybe I'll put back Field. Pact? I don't think I like Pact in a hand like this. Get on the plane. Really counterspell this? Bro, you're a treasure. Junapi. You'll counterspell anything I put on the stack. What is my Titan? Alright, need a land so I can recast Titan. Or Otawara would be a good draw. Actually, if I draw Otawara, I should probably have a draw step stop for that purpose. Because I should probably draw step. Maybe I block with a construct. Alright, in the challenge game I put back Lotus Field and Summoners. Nah. Put back Grazer and Lotus Field. I think that's the most reasonable. Still pretty bad. We drew Boseiju, which is not particularly useful, but it does recast Titan. So I guess let's make an attempt. I counterspell, yeah. Oh, no lands, that's really sad. Every time I attack with 6 and get no lands, I think to myself, damn, that's really sad. I wish I hit a land. Black, blue, blue. And Ochulus would be kind of nightmarish, frankly. Probably can't beat Ochulus. Amulet, Melanie Martinez. What's this? Sure. That does seem like an Ochulus. That's bad. That's really bad, chat. Despite all of the marvelous plays that my opponent performed, we might still be losing. Yeah, something like greased. If I could get greased over Analyst, it would be insane. Need to draw Otawara. I have a few looks. I attack next turn. It's not over actually. Tune the narrative. That's not good. Maybe missequence my lands because now I cannot AOT Saga. I have to sorcery speed it, which is way worse again to some stuff like Wrath of the Skies, but yeah, tune means just that they play Wrath of the Skies in their deck. So I control deck Jeskai. Well, I guess Jeskai. We've seen Steam Blends, so it has to be Jeskai. Jeskai control not a good matchup. Trespasser my Titan, okay. Can I draw one Otawara, please? In my top 4. Top 5 maybe be even. How do I resolve the triggers? If I fetch 2 more lands, more chance of hitting Otawara. Get 2 bounce land, hit Otawara. I kickstart the loop then. Kind of don't. So I think I need to hit Otawara first. Dupa, kurwa, nigdy nie mam Otawary. Alright, bro, I assume you won. But it was not like 1000% clear yet, but it was very unlikely that I would win. Wasn't it better to cast another Titan from graveyard instead of Spelunking for a chance of getting a